And thanks for joining us here on PM Express. And I know that Alan Tremanting is no longer with the NPP. Tonight we're going to be doing some analysis, breaking it down a bit more. Now that we've heard from the NPP today, what else can we tell you about Alan's chances going into the 2024 elections? Yesterday on the show, you heard his spokesperson say the plan is the 2024 elections. I can tell you categorically that that won't happen. But there's something else he can do next year. And that's what we're going to be breaking down for you today. And we'll be getting the perspective from the NPP. But also I'm looking forward to talking to Kojo Pioni, who is a former chief of staff under the Kufuor administration, one of the most popular chief of staffs we've ever had. And we know that he's a close ally of Kufuor himself. And many see him as one person in the camp of Alan as well. I wonder whether he had his blessing making this decision. A few things we've learned today as far as the party is concerned. And the party today has had a press conference. They say that they're asking the members to stay calm and that they are the NPP. But also that Alan Tremanting's resignation is premeditated and not one that he engaged the party over. But must he? I mean, this is something that he's been brooding over since 2007. And he cited the issue that the party has failed to deal with the concerns that he had. But he is going into a race where many have tried before as an independent candidate, or individuals who broke away from one of the two established political parties and formed their own political movements or political parties, or went independent. And what really happened to them? The history tells us a story. You look, for example, at Charles Reku Broby. Charles Reku Broby broke away from the NPP and formed his own political party called the UGM. That was in 1996. And remember that that time, we were approaching the 2000 elections. The first time, indeed, we're going to see the possibility of an opposition party taking the reins from an incumbent political party. Very, very similar to what we have right now. But then, the issue there for him, another thing that was very similar, is that he also raised almost the same questions about the party's internal democratic tenets, and also the issues about how the party has drifted away from its core values for the reasons why he was going, and he decided to go and form his own political party. The difference is, and as we come to Alan Tremanting, you'll notice that he didn't go as an independent, he formed his own political movement. But I submit that if you look at Guzitano's case, it's very similar to what Alan is trying to do right now, also because of the timing in the political calendar. And this was a time when the NDC, then as an incumbent party, normally breakaways happen when parties are in opposition, right? When parties are in power, rarely do you see individuals breaking away from them. That's what our history tells us. Alan has chosen to do exactly the opposite. Guzi was in the NDC. They were in power, and he decided to break away from them in 1999 and forms the National Reform Party. Very, very similar to what we have here with Alan Tremanting. Except that, again, if you look at the timing, he did this the 2024 elections. His party is incumbent party. Guzitano's party was incumbent party, and he broke away, formed his own political party, and contested in that elections. Alan is not forming a political party. He has a movement. He's going as an independent candidate. So that's the difference there. One of the things we'll draw on is to say, okay, so what really happened when they contested in elections, and see whether that history may hold true for him, and what may be the distinguishing features. And remember that Obed Asamoah and co, and you see the picture of Frances Essiem there, but she wasn't the main character in this particular agenda to form the DFP. You had Obed Asamoah, who was the former party chairman, was a stalwart of the party, was a founding member, but was also a former attorney general, a cabinet minister. Again, very similar to what you have there with Alan Tremanting. In the case of Alan Tremanting, you know he was also a cabinet minister. Then they formed this party. This was in the year going into the 2008 elections. A very, very important similarity that we need to isolate there. Very important because of the timing of this. You are approaching another period where the incumbent political party is attempting to break the eight. And then you have, and this was in opposition, which is the point I'm driving at, that in opposition parties break away. They broke away from the DFP, Francis Essiem and co., And they formed a pact with the NPP at the time because they were in government. And it was a marriage of convenience, by the way, because NPP was in government. They had come from a party in opposition, good to just join forces. And they went into the contest. But we're trying to see very quickly what happened and how they affected the fortunes of the NDC in that particular election. Then, of course, you have Nana Ronalds. And Nana Ronalds' story is also very interesting. And all this, we're relating it to Alan Kyerematen. This was in 2016. In 2016, as you know, when she broke away from the NDC, stalwart indeed, wife of the former president, stood and then formed his own political party, the National Democratic Party, went into that election, and we saw the outcome. Her performance wasn't that significant, but the timing was interesting. The NDC was attempting to break the 8. They had had the 4 years of President Mills, of course, died in July of 2012, and then John Mahama came in, won that elections, and served the 4 years. So together, both John Mahama and Mills, they were experiencing that 4-year cycle. And this is something that affected the party's fortunes going into that particular elections. Okay, now, another key thing that I wanted to bring about for us to look at is the 2020 elections and, as I said, the results that we saw Guzi Tano poll. If you look at Guzi's polling then in that elections, I'm saying this is very, very similar to Alan Kyerematen. A party in power attempting to break the 8, a stalwart breaks away, forms his own political party, and gets 1.2% of the votes. Many argue that this contributed significantly to the pushing of these elections into the second round. And we saw what happened. The NDC lost that elections in 2000. And that is key. Very similar to what we have now, where we have a party in power attempting to break the 8 in 2024. You have a stalwart breaking away. Can Alan Kyerematen get close to 1.2% of the votes? And if you did get close to 1.2% of the votes, and the assumption is that much of that vote will come from the party's stronghold, can he force that into a runoff? And remember that traditionally we've had 2000, we've had 2008, years in which incumbent parties are attempting to break the 8, and we have a forcing of that whole race into the runoff, right? And you have a case there in 2000 where the breakaway element in Guzi was a very significant factor in the pushing of this whole contest into a runoff and affecting the chance of Professor John Evanson Mills. Is that what Alan Kyerematen is hoping to do? That is my submission. He knows he's not going to win, but he wants to do a Guzi Tano to the NPP in 2024. And by the way, he was also in the race there. He was also a breakaway element, except that his party was in opposition. He had 0.3%, didn't really make any difference, right? This is the NPP. Didn't really make any evidence, any impact in terms of the fortunes of J.A. Kufuor there. The similarity is in Guzi Tano for me because of was the timing, the party that was in power, etc. Now, 2016 elections is very interesting also. And then, again, an incumbent party attempting to break the 8, but also had a breakaway element, a very strong, formidable force in Nana Ronalds, the wife of the former president, the founder of the party. Her performance was extremely poor. But, as we saw in this particular case, John Mahama lost significant votes. Something interesting also happened. There's another similarity. 2016, the economic conditions were terrible. We were having, historically, all the economic indicators were pointing into the reds. Same as we're having now, except that it is worse going into the 2024 elections. The scenarios were the same. And then, to make matters worse, as if trying to break the 8 and dealing with the economic crisis of the time wasn't enough, you had a breakaway of an element who has been a party stalwart for so long, the leader and the founder of the 31st December Women's Movement, breaking away and forming a political party. Same as the NPP is going to face next year. Economic crisis biting even worse than what we saw in 2016. Formidable force in Alan breaking away. What can he do in that election? And you were thinking in that elections that, well, people were necessarily going to vote against him nonetheless. The NDC folks who were not happy were not going to vote for him, but they were not going to vote for him either, we're going to hold on to their votes. And as we saw, many of the traditional NDC voters didn't show up to vote. The apathy was there, right? And so he won. But also, they didn't necessarily vote for Nana Akufo-Addo either. Nana Akufo-Addo had calculated that because of the apathy, a lot of them will shift to her. That didn't happen. That didn't happen. He won. The key question to ask, what is Alan's end game here? Is his end game that those aggrieved traditional MPP voters next year, yes, if they don't vote for the NDC, they will vote for whoever emerges winner in the primaries of the MPP. Is it his hope that they will vote for him? And Nana Akufo-Addo found it is not that easy. It's not that simple to say that because they are disgruntled with the party's performance, they traditionally vote for them, and they have somebody from their stock standing in that race as an alternative, then that traditional MPP vote will necessarily translate to you. Nana Akufo-Addo shows you that that isn't a foregone conclusion. And that's another thing that, of course, his team will have to be chewing on. But then if you look at the poll results, as we've seen, and this is the breakaway stories that we've been talking about for the first round of votes. Again, if you look at the story, as I've been telling, the Guzi factor there, clearly making a significant impact. And then there is another breakaway individual who also shows us that if you break away from the CPP, as Dr. Pakwesi Ndum did in 2008, and of course, at that time he had 1.3%, and then if you come to the issues of Alan himself, he then quits in 2008. And this, of course, is the Daily Graphics story there. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is to see he quit then. He was talked out of it, but the sentiments remained. What was the impact on the party? And if you look at Ashanti region here and the national elections, you begin to see that in 2000, Ashanti region, as we said yesterday, always plays a very significant role in the party's win or defeat in elections. This is Alan's term when he resigned going into that elections, which again has happened now, deja vu. 72% is what the MPP managed to crawl in that elections. They lost it, pushed to a second round. Was that because of Alan? I can't say that. There were no absolutes in politics. Was he a factor in this? Definitely. The Ashanti region traditional votes that had climbed all the way to 79.9%, almost 80%, the previous election, I'm talking about 2000, in the runoff, and had dropped significantly subsequently going into and this dropped to some around just above 75% in the 2004 elections, and dropped even further. This is a terrible performance for the party in Ashanti because it's a stronghold. Alan played a role in this. He wasn't the only absolute factor, but was a factor nonetheless. Is he hoping that he can do this to the party next year? And Alan's end game is simple. Can be the party's flag bearer because I believe a Drew missile. If you're not going to give it to me, then nobody else gets it. And I believe that's the end game. If he does this to them again, or his factor, his influence, causes this drop in a vote in Ashanti region, then that becomes a win for him. Is that his end game? To simply cause them pain in Ashanti region, drops them below 75%? And history shows if it did that successfully, the party will lose the national elections. That's a key point to note. And then I talked about the 2000 elections and the impact of, the woman there, of course, who had been the wife of the founder of the party. But then again, the Santarina factor. This is a super delegates conference that was just held. Alan's stronghold among the NPP is the Ashanti region. At least that's what we believed going into the super delegates conference. We were expecting that he would do magic, at least, if he failed everywhere else, not in his home region. See what happened to him there? You saw Baumia whipping him quite significantly there. Argument is he's not even as popular in the Ashanti region. His own place within the NPP. The grassroots of the party may be voting in their numbers. And we're waiting to see the test of that in the actual primary on November 4. But he's not going to be there. But this gave us a sense of what was going to happen. But of course, this was the elite of the party, mostly these super delegates who were voting. So maybe say, you can discount it. But this, you can't discount because of how poorly he showed there. If he's doing this poorly there, and this is a place where many people, majority, overwhelming majority, are very sympathetic to the MPP and they vote for them, can you have a multiplier effect where that small group of people, that 100 plus people who voted there and their sentiments to give all to him, almost all to him, can that be replicated across the board and then lead to a situation where he's not getting as much as he's hoping for to do what I just said in that previous slide, where he brings down that number to something below 75% and cause the MPP some pain there? That, for me, may possibly be the end game. Assuming by some miracle he wins, assume by some miracle, and we've already said at the beginning that this won't happen, assuming he has to do this. The Constitution says he has to appoint majority of his ministers from Parliament. What it means is he will be appointing NDC and MPP ministers, majority of them from Parliament, which will be very, very interesting. I am delighted to say that we can bring in Kojo Pieni, who is joining us right now. He's a former chief of staff under the Kufuor administration. Mr. Pieni, thanks for your time here on PM Express.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great to have you. What's your reaction to the decision of Alan to resign?
My reaction?
Yes, sir.
Actually, I don't know. I think it's unfortunate for the party that a source like Alan would decide to leave the party at this time. It's getting very close to general election. It's unfortunate what has happened.
When you say unfortunate, do you mean because of the damage it will cause the party, both in its ability to be a sustaining force, but also ability to win the 2024 elections?
In both ways, ability of winning the 2024 election and also sustaining the party from now to the future.
Did Alan Tremanting sound you up before he took the decision? I know you were very close to him. You were the one who was there when he was appointed the trade minister under Kufuor. Did he consult you at all? Did you even know about this?
Unfortunately, I wasn't consulted, but I got to know about it before he came out to give his press conference.
Did your good friend, the man you served, the former President J. Kufuor, did he know about this? Was he consulted?
I don't know. I'm not too sure about that. I haven't been in touch with President Kufuor for some time now. But I doubt whether he was consulted about Alan leaving the party.
Are you sympathetic to the reasons he gave for resigning?
You see, there has been problems with the party, except that those of us in the party are trying to behave like ostriches and not seeing what is in the party. I was not too much surprised about what happened because I've been telling colleagues that the way the party is going, if we are not lucky, there's going to be a more serious upheaval in the future. I've had occasion of talking to my colleagues even at the Council of Elders that we must sit up and try to confront the issues in the party. If we pretend that everything's okay, we're going to regret in the future. Unfortunately, some people didn't sort of believe what I was saying, and this is one of the outcomes of what is happening in the party.
Is that
his action may be due to what happened recently in these party primaries, but those of us in the party who want to know what is happening, who want to see what is happening, will know that all is not well within the party.
When you say all is not well, what is not well exactly?
The administration of the party, unfortunately, the party has become some sort of, I don't know if I will use the word society or a club for a few people within the party, where decisions are taken by them, and I don't know if force is the right word to use. And then all members are supposed to comply with those decisions. People are not able to come out openly to protest, but those of us sitting back, we hear a lot of complaints from members of the party, including even people at the higher echelons of the party. And therefore, some of us know that all is not well within the party.
So you agree with Alan when he says a few people have hijacked the party. You agree with him?
Well, to some extent, yes. You know, I think the party problem deepens the very day the party decided to sack its chairman and general secretary, which I believe was unconstitutional under our own party. But then the party did it. And unfortunately, some of members, including members of the group which I belong to, take pride in this by saying that they were able to remove these people. You see, as soon as the party removed these people, they gave the party to one man who was a candidate at that time and who is the president at this time. And this is the problem we have in the party, which we are not confronting. And if we don't confront this problem, we're going to have more problems within the party.
You say that they gave the party to one man who is the current president. You're saying that...
So they gave the party the candidate then, who is presently the president of the nation. Because, you know, maybe I have to let you know that there was a problem.
Hello, Mr. Penny.
The hierarchy, the topmost, the chairman, the general secretary, and the candidate immediately after the election, which elected these people. I was a party to a group which tried to resolve this issue between them. We tried for so many times. Unfortunately, we couldn't resolve the problem. Then all of a sudden, we were told that the chairman and the general secretary, there were some infractions of themselves, and that's going strictly according to our constitution, they were removed. So the conflict between them, so when they were removed, it means the candidate has his way. And this has continued up to this time.
Let me ask you a blunt question on the back of what you've said. When you talk about hijacking, do you mean President Akufo-Addo and his loyalists are those who have hijacked the party?
What I'm saying is that there was this problem, and the party, in its wisdom, decided to give the party to the candidate Akufo-Addo, who is now President Akufo-Addo.
Is he the problem? Is he the reason why the party is struggling?
He's part of it. All of us are part of the problem, and he is part of the problem.
Okay. When you say that Alan didn't obviously consult you, but you got to know before, did you try to talk him out of it?
Well, he's taking the decision already. He tried to explain his reasons for doing that, and there was no way anybody could. I tried to let him know that it would be better to be in the party. But I don't think he's gone very far. He's gone so far that it was difficult convincing him to reverse his decision.
Do I take it then that if he had consulted you, you would have told him not to break away?
Well, if he had consulted me earlier, I would have started with him to discuss the pros and cons of the decision he was taking, and then try to convince him, based on my understanding of the issues, to maybe stay in and fight.
So, in other words, you do not support his resignation?
I did not support his resignation.
Okay. So you're opposed to the decision he's taking?
I'm not opposed to it. I said I did not support it, but I'm not opposed to it.
That is a very interesting circle to square. If you are not opposed to it, but at the same time you did not support it, it means that you're opposed to it, right?
That's your interpretation.
Okay. Because you're not opposed to it, but you did not support it.
I told you what I would have done, and he's done it. And you asked me, am I opposed to what he has done? I said, I'm not. But I wouldn't have wouldn't have asked him to go and do what he has done.
I mean, as we speak now, what do you think, how would this hurt the MPP? Can the MPP recover?
Well, we should try to recover. The party is a party with antecedents which goes back as far as to the 1950s when we became a united party. And it has a long history, a very, very long history. And therefore, I think we should go back to our beliefs and try to live according to our beliefs. And I think if we try to do that, we might be able to recover.
Will this cost the party the 2024 elections?
I don't know yet, but I'm sure it's going to affect the party.
So when you hear the party executives say that this will not have any significant impact on the 2024 election?
What do you expect? If I were one of them, what would you expect me to come and tell members that this is going to affect them? I won't. But maybe sitting back and looking at the issues, they will realize that if nothing is done as soon as possible, I believe it will affect the party. That's my belief.
Alan, yesterday, when he mentioned the individuals who have hijacked the party, didn't mention anybody's name. I mean, you've suggested the problem, of course, the president must take part of the blame. Would you dare give us the names of those who have hijacked the party beyond the president?
I'm not in a way to tell you those who have hijacked it. I gave you the history of what is happening in the party. And I wanted to be honest and blunt with that. So I will leave it there. I'm not going to mention any names.
Alan's political career, is this the death of Alan the politician?
I don't know. That's left for Alan to decide. I don't know.
Wrong decision?
I won't know that. Who knows? He may come as a winner. So how can I sit here and say a wrong decision?
Did you say Alan?
When I haven't done any research to determine whether it's going to be a good or wrong decision.
Did you say Alan may win the 2024 elections?
It's possible. It's possible. In politics, we can't say anything is impossible. It's possible. It's appealing to both members of the two prominent parties. It's appealing to the youth of the country. Who knows? If it's the way he's trying to convince them, they believe that he has something to offer them. Who knows? Our neighbors, Benin, I remember when President Yai Boni or something like that, he was in this same situation and decided going independent. People wrote him off. In the end, he won. So who knows? You, the journalist, can do a proper research and help those of us who don't have the facilities to know whether they stand a chance or not. By coming out to say, no, there's no hope, without any basis, it would be wrong for me to do that or to say that.
So Alan is gone. Yesterday, SK Boafo joined him. He publicly declared that he's also leaving and joining him and to back him to campaign. Knowing what you know, are more people going to follow Alan out?
I don't know. It's possible. That possibility is there. That possibility is there. Because before this incident, this Alan, there are a lot of people have come to me expressing views about what is happening in this party, where they believe there must be a break. Otherwise, it's not going to be well for the party. So who knows? It's very possible that a lot of people may join him.
But could your opinion is not joining him? You see?
I don't know. I haven't made that decision yet.
You're not sure whether or not you stay with the MPP?
I'm an MPP man, pure and pure. And I'm just saying, am I going to join him? And I said, I don't know how to speak. I haven't made up any decision whether to join him or not.
If he calls on you to say, join me on my campaign, will you?
It depends on what he tells me and what if I want to join, I'll find a way of getting the feelings of the Ghanaian people to decide whether it's worthwhile joining him or not.
But you haven't made a decision whether or not you will join if he asks you?
Not yet.
Okay. What should the party do now, knowing where they are with Alan out?
The party? You mean the party?
Yeah, the party. What should they do now?
Yeah, they should make an appeal. The elders of the party, there's quite a number of the elders are also not happy about what's happening within the party. You know, we as I said, we become ostriches, thinking that everything's okay with us in the party. But as I tell you, everything is not okay with us in the party.
Oyopini, thank you very much. Would you be kind enough to assist the party in this appeal to Alan to return?
Oh, if the party wants me to join them, why not? I will definitely do that.
I mean,
if they believe that I can make any contribution, yeah, why not?
Okay. I wonder, I mean, have you spoken to former President J. Kufuor since this announcement at all? Have you had a chat?
I haven't had a chat. I just spoke to him this evening to inform him that I'm traveling, and he wants me to, when I come back, to come and see him for us to chat. Okay.
Yeah. Will he be sad that Alan is gone, or he really has no position? What would you think?
Oh, I don't know. I'm sure he'll be sad. He is one person who always preaches that the party must stay intact. So I'm sure he'll be sad.
Okay. Mr. Kujupini, thank you very much, and safe journey. And thank you very much for joining us. That's Kujupini talking to us, is the former chief of staff of the under the Kufuor administration, and of course has shared a lot with us about the inside story of what really is happening. He's unmasked one individual at least who is part of this group hijacking the party, and he says the president is part of that group. Well, after this break, I'll bring in my other guest. Thankfully, the national organizer will join me. I'll get his thoughts on Kujupini's views. At least the party says the hijacking complaints, etc., is false. Okay, well, now Kujupini is confirming it's true, it's happening. He's now at least giving us one individual who may be part of the hijackers. I'll ask the national organizer of the party his views. We also have Dr. Kobi Mensa joining me. Also, guess who else is joining me? Is also a man who tried to run on the ticket of the party as a chairman and didn't win. But he's a political scientist, former head of the political science department at the KNUST. Professor Marco Ba also joins me. My guest next to chew on what we've just heard. Stay with me.
Daddy, this tank is big.
Yes, that's true.
It can store a lot of water.
That's so true.
Wow, it has a working tortoise on it.
That's so true.
I can see SINTEX. Syntax.
That is so true, my daughter.
When it falls down, it will spoil.
That's not true.
But why?
Hey! Syntex was the first to introduce double-layer tanks in Ghana. Syntex again was the first to introduce white inner layers in Ghana. Syntex gives you the biggest warranty, 7 years. No matter your water needs, Syntex is the answer. Syntex tank. Are you strong? Are you tough?
There are days when you think, whoa, today I've earned it. So order a Glovo. Days when plans run longer. What if we order a Glovo? Or days when you can't control everything. Oh yes, because on Glovo, you can order anything you want. Glovo, you order, we deliver.
So I came home earlier than I normally would that fateful Monday after work. And to my surprise, I saw my husband and my mother having sex in our living room.
I had always suspected my wife. I felt she had something doing with my little brother. And I walked into a room one day, and there they were, making out. And this is my blood brother.
My husband, who is a banker, will not have sex with me because I denied him my earnings. Is he gay? I've been wondering.
What is your story? What secret is eating you up? Why are you having continual sleepless nights? Do you need help? Share your story on our powerful new series where real people share their deepest secrets on Prime Morning beginning this September. Drop your stories on our WhatsApp number 055 157 5757. Remember, a problem shared is a problem half solved, and every problem has a solution.
Crazy pa. Don't say no me.
Whiskey.
Wash. All of a sudden, my voice I hear different. And when you try a call. Barman, bring me the honey whiskey. You know the one? Black Rock Whiskey.
Honey whiskey.
Chalet, honey near their fro. Black Rock Whiskey is strong. Now so taste me is smooth and it goes down easy. Excuse me.
Barman.
Barman, bring my friend one Black Rock Whiskey.
Black Rock Whiskey, blended with natural honey flavor.
Hey, what's up?
Barman.
Hey, what the hell for Sikanton Sata?
Black Rock Whiskey, Tabby, the feel is smooth, no.
Drink responsibly. Not for sale to persons under 18 years of age and not recommended for pregnant women. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Hello, my name is Abeku Agri Santana. If there's anything that makes my life so easy, it is my bank. I love hanging out with my boys at our usual fufu joint. But even without cash, we still dey chop better with EcoBank Mobile. No matter the time of day, my bank helps me stay in touch with my beautiful wife whenever she's away. And when my beautiful wife is in town, she never misses out on her favorite TV shows because I'm able to pay up all my TV subscriptions from the comfort of my mobile phone. Whenever she has to get groceries too, my bank makes it cashless and convenient. And the part my wife loves the most is when my bank makes it possible and easy for her to shop from any part of the world without moving.
Welcome to the smart world of EcoBank. Download EcoBank Mobile from Google Play Store or the App Store and discover the smart way to bank. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to demonstrate to you the superior properties of Flamingo paint. As compared to other paint brands on the market, we take equal quantities of Flamingo paint and this ordinary paint. We then dilute them with water. And now, let the test begin. The gentleman on the left is going to apply the ordinary paint, and the gentleman on my right will use the Flamingo Superior paint. As you can clearly see, Flamingo has the obvious better hiding. Furthermore, Flamingo has painted a much larger area. You know, one bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint is made with superior formulation to give superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
About 1/3 of a million people live with HIV in Ghana. Close to 10,000 of them die each year, mostly as a result of a lack of antiretroviral drugs and adherence. In fact, close to 57% of children under 14 years living with HIV do not receive antiretroviral drugs, again as a result of inadequate funds to provide them with medication.
Life expectancy for these children is grim. The big worry: close to 16,300 people are newly infected with HIV each year. With this alarming rate of HIV infections, all of us are in danger, and Ghana is headed for an epidemic explosion if nothing is done now to avert it. While the Ghana AIDS Commission is working hard to overturn the situation, the Commission urgently needs funding support from corporate Ghana and individuals to save lives. We're therefore appealing to you, corporate entities and individuals, to support the National HIV and AIDS Fund by dialing star 9898 hash on MTN and Vodafone and follow the prompts, or pay into the National HIV and AIDS Fund account number 101-863-161-3233, Bank of Ghana. Your donation will be used to prevent new infections and provide care for people living with HIV, including children affected by AIDS. For further information, please call Ghana AIDS Commission on 0302 919260 or email info@ghanaids.gov.gh. Give to save a life today. Ghana AIDS Commission, partnering to eliminate HIV and AIDS.
On Zoom with me right now is Henry Nana Boakye, is the national organizer of the NPP. Also joining me right now is Professor Kobe Mensah, is a political marketing strategist at the University of Ghana Business School, and Dr. Richard Amakoba is a political analyst. He's a former head of the KNUST, a political science department. He himself ran to lead the party as a national chairman and lost. And so he has some insider knowledge there. But I'll start with Nanabi. First, give me your reaction to Kudiopini. Nanabi, please unmute for me. Nanabi?
Okay, can you hear me, Vance?
Loud and clear, thank you. Your reaction to... Yes, I can, yes. Your reaction to Kudiopini?
Evans, what kind of reaction, please?
Oh, so you heard him. I mean, first of all, the hijack comment there. Today, the party says that was dismissed.
Of course, I totally disagree. I am the national organizer of the party. From the constitution, I'm in charge of the party's management, organization, and then organizational work of the party. And I can boldly tell you that the party has not been hijacked. I was thinking that the respected elder would possibly give some extra particulars, details, evidence, but I don't see so. I mean, the party is well structured. We have a national steering committee. We have national executive committee. There are some decisions which mandate the national executive committee to take is not one person. We are not talking about two persons. I mean, it's a whole group. We have National Council, which is the second highest decision-making body of the party. And then we have decision-making body, which is Congress. So I would be surprised if anybody would want to say so. It is not hijacked by any individual. And for me, it would be an unfortunate comment for anybody to make. Maybe the fact that you disagree with the other does not mean that the party has been hijacked. I mean, for instance, this hijack came from Mr. Alanchamutin. Why? Because there was a proposal before National Council that the Special Delegates Conference should be centralized. This particular matter was brought before National Council. National Council is made up of eminent personalities, I mean, persons who have really served this party, ministers, MPs, national executive members, and we have reps from the regions as well. And I was there that particular day. It was well deliberated, upon. And then afterwards, in fact, I've never seen it before, right from my days as national youth organizer and then now national organizer. We have never put any matter to vote. It is almost every other time is consensus building, and then we come up with a decision. On this particular matter, in 2014, when we started this exercise, it was decentralized. So if anybody would want to say that we need to decentralize it at this time, there should be compelling reasons. And it was not even as if National Council even dismissed it outrightly. No, this matter was put before council members, and then we voted on it.
Yeah, I mean,
74
Nana, I hear you say that, but the Kojo opinion goes beyond the specifics of the Superdelegates Conference and the controversies. It goes all the way back to before 2016 elections and says the problem started there where one individual was placed in charge of the whole party, and it has continued into this. And that's where he traces this hijacking from. And he didn't mince words, that the president was given absolute control over the party at the time, and people can't even complain now.
No, he's a respected elder. I totally disagree. I was there at that time. This was when the party was in total turmoil. Telling you, you have three personalities heading towards this direction, and then you have the entire party moving towards this direction, and then you wake up every day, and then you have matters of the New Patriotic Party on the airways being discussed. And then they went through due process. In fact, I recall that this matter was brought before the Discipline Committee, and then an action was taken. This matter again moved to National Council, and then a decision was taken. The National Chairman was suspended, General Secretary was suspended, and then the First Vice too was suspended. How can this be, in a way, a misconstrued interpretation that it was hijacked? I don't think so. It was never a hijack. They went through due process. So I disagree. As I said, he's a respected elder. He has his own opinions. Possibly, maybe he has, personal affiliations with some personalities. So that is, but the fact of the matter is that the party is not hijacked. And I don't see the connection from 2015, where these three leaders of the party, the connection between 2015 and then now. No, this is where we've gone through a process. We've picked forms, with open nomination, you've gone through it, and then there was a period for special delegates conference. We've had this process before in 2014, and you came third. In fact, this is not even the final process to determine who becomes the process to prune down the numbers from 10 to 5. So at least we should have even waited. The final elections will be on the 4th of November. So it is not as if you had or gone through that process for anybody to pass some of these judgments. So yes, I think that it will be an unfortunate comment for anybody to say that the party is being hijacked. And then don't forget, I keep saying now the decision making, especially regarding who becomes the flag bearer, is so deep. You're talking about some 200,000 delegates going to determine who becomes the flag bearer. And
stay with me for a second.
All of these 200,000 persons in his pocket.
Stay with me for a second. Professor Makoba, so yes. you've heard Kojo Peony, you've heard Alan Kyerematen. They agree that the party is in deep trouble internally, and he says he has sympathies. You've listened to the party. Where do you stand on this? You're also an insider.
Okay, first of all, I will say I'm very thankful that he is the one who said that. Because if I said it, they'll say I don't like them already. But what he's saying is 100% true. And Abi is one of those in that camp who misbehave in the party. The young party official.
Dr. Makoba, I would like for us to be decorous towards the other guest. When you say he's
I'm speaking the truth.
No, but you haven't provided any evidence whatsoever to support. We use the word misbehaving. I think that's too strong.
Let me give you evidence.
But even if you did, you can provide the evidence and we'll question that. But to say he's misbehaving, it's over the top.
Why? Yes, he has apologized. Do you apologize when you've done right? Tell me. Go ahead. Tell me. What do you apologize for? When you've done something wrong, that's when you apologize. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
But I believe if anybody told you are misbehaving on national television.
Well, yes, he was misbehaving. What is it that a senior member of this party, founding member, is speaking?
The point I'm making,
you know that somebody else is coming. What is it?
The point I'm making, you can make your point without making the other panelists feel insulted.
You don't want to talk about anything. You want to talk.
Find the brands, inspiration, and great value you need to own your style at Macy's VIP sale. Going on now. Use your coupon or Macy's card and take an extra 30% off fall trends and updates. Plus 15% off go-to beauty, skincare, and fragrances. Plus shop specials and find great deals on top brands at Macy's VIP sale. Savings off regular sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
About theories.
Yeah, so let's stick to the issues.
I'm sticking. What do you think I'm doing? I'm talking directly to the person involved is the one I'm talking about. His opinion was charitable. It is the president who is in charge, and all the young people are behind him misbehaving. That's what I call it. That's the only thing I can say. Nothing else. They are misbehaving. This is what we are talking about. This is why people are upset. This party is not like that. We used to think the NDC, that is Patapa, misbehave. We have become worse than them. That is what I'm telling you now. Please, no niceties anymore. If we are talking, let's talk the truth and stop going around issues. This is what is killing the party. Nobody says anything. We campaign for Nanado. I can tell you, probably there's no one else who campaigned harder than myself for this man. He's come, he's wrecked the country, he's wrecked the party. You are leaving this thing. Why are you so, what do you want to do? Why do you have to leave your track still? Because there are a lot of malfeasance going on, and he needs someone to cover his track for him when he's no longer there. You just wait. When he leaves office, you see how bad things are. We have not seen anything yet. And those who are following him, that's what they are doing. They take the cue from him himself because he says he's not going to force anyone on us. Your words must match your actions. His words don't match his actions. And so they know what he wants, and they do it. Misbehavior, lies. Look, we went to Ascend North. We were sharing money. The president is the number one person who's supposed to uphold the law. He is in charge of, he is leading the charge to pay money to voters when we have laws against vote buying.
Yeah, I mean,
what is going on?
Mr. Makuba, as far as the sharing of money is concerned, it's a widely held belief that happens. And I know that the special prosecutor is looking into some of these allegations. None of it has been proven yet. Of course, we saw one on television, somebody throwing money in the NDC campaign, and that has been investigated. So it's very specific. And I would like for us to be very specific. Yes.
Dr. Makuba made some allegations against me.
Yeah.
I think that it will be only fair that I just respond in just a second.
I agree with you.
First of all, I think yesterday or 2 days ago or so, I also heard him, and then he accused me of grabbing the mic from Honorable Alan Chamatin in Ascend North. I think that it was an unfair comment. It was never the case. In fact, I was not even near the action on that. I apologized because I was a national organizer. I even said I was not even happy what happened. But yesterday he attacked me. But you see, he's a senior person. I'm also not going to attack in a similar manner. But I think that he got the facts wrong. I was not the person on stage. I never grabbed the mic from Honorable Alan Chamatin. No, it was the central regional organizer. And I even reprimanded him. And that is how, as national organizer, I apologized because I was in charge of the organization. So please, Honorable Makuma, with the greatest of respect, I mean, I was on KNST campus, you are my lecturer, please. I do not want to have a banter with you on this, but I think that you have been quite unfair. It is improper for you to say that I'm misbehaving in the party. No, it is never the case. And you mentioned it yesterday. I watched that footage. You said that I went to the stage, I grabbed the mic. It is never true. In fact, if you can go back and then even replay the video, you notice that I was even a distance away from the action. I apologize because I thought that that particular action was not the best. It was not proper. And as a national organizer, I had to apologize. So I did not apologize because I had done something wrong. Because you were just saying it, that why would you want to apologize for something if you know that you have not done anything wrong? It is never true. I did so because I was a leader. I was a national organizer. Please.
Okay, Nanabi, I accept it.
With the greatest of respect.
I accept your explanation. I accept your explanation. But what is wrong is this. The president was sitting on stage. You understand? He is the leader of the party. He was sitting on stage. What did he say? What did he do? Did he say this behavior is unacceptable? No, he said nothing. This is what I'm talking about. You see, it's not just the words you speak. Your actions sometimes speak louder than words. That's the problem. When things go wrong, he says nothing. When you expect him to address the issue, he won't. Whom to me is engaging. I'm saying, everybody knows what is it? What does he say? What is going on here? And then you Nanabi, are respected. In fact, I have to tell you, most of the young people, you were the one I respected them when you were a youth organizer. But then, now the misbehavior is going way too much. Look at someone like Untumi. He has effectively become the campaign manager of Baumiaska. How can you take a side when you are supposed to be the referee? You tell me. This is how is it possible that all the national chairman can go to Baumiaska? Almost all the MPs on Baumiaska. You talk about the deep dealings of the party. There are so many people. But all the people are going on one side. Don't you see it? Just about. How is it happening? Is it by chance? You think it's by chance? MPs take bribes and just do whatever they want. What is going on? The president is fighting with his own party members, and the National Council does nothing. That is what Mr. Piani is talking about. And that's what I'm talking about. They do nothing. They don't see it. They don't call Untumi to order. He started a long time ago. Nobody says anything. This is what is going on. Your explanation of what happened, and I said, no, I apologize for it because I wasn't on stage. What they showed me is what I saw. You understand? But you know it's not acceptable. Completely unacceptable for that to happen.
Yes. Nanabi?
Yes, thank you, Evans. I think that, first of all, Chairman Wuntumi is not in charge of the management of the electoral process. And Ankla Mwakoma, there were also quite a number of even ministers who were also with Honorable Alan Kojoche Martin. I mean, Honorable Peter Amewu, he is an MP, and then he was with Honorable Alan Martin. And you speak of Honorable Abna Oseasari, he's a deputy minister in charge of finance, and then she's an MP as well, and then she supported Honorable Alan Kojoche Martin. I think the fact that you have a lot of people following one person, for me, is not a justification for you to say there is some wrongdoing. I do not think so. Possibly, if that person is doing some things well, and don't forget, this is not the first time that we've had such elections. We've had Honorable Alan Kojoche Martin challenging Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And then Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo had overwhelming support. In fact, I recall that during the Special Delegates Conference in 2014, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo secured 84% of the votes. 84. And then even the final elections too, he had more than 90% of the votes. So for me, the fact that you have a lot of people, you have a lot of delegates following one person, maybe the person is doing something right. That in itself cannot be a conclusive determination.
You guys are supposed to be the referee.
Yes.
But you guys, not party officials, you are supposed to be the referees. Something happens, you are the one supposed to bring it. If all of you just about have taken sides, who is the referee now? Somebody jumps up to head the ball. You say,
it is not factual. It is not factual. We at the national level, national chairman is not taking any side in any way whatsoever. General secretary, no side whatsoever. I have not taken sides in this particular election. You recall, there was a particular time where even the National Nasarawa coordinator made a certain comment, and it was during the 30th anniversary. He made a comment, we're having Muslim prayers. The General Secretary quickly moved in to rebuke him on the same platform. So for the national officers, Angela